Is it? It better be.
It's already started.
Three Cat Podcast, welcome back. Episode 2. Goodness me. Skip, Chief and Coach. If you're a real one, you already know that. We're going to touch on a bit of Origin 2 this week. Allblacks just played last night. And yeah, that's pretty much it. They got a few words to get off their chest this week about the Origin 2. Not too happy about it. But first, a bit of a thanks for support. Went a bit viral there. Few shares, thanks for that. A few views. We were just not trying to do anything, just love talking about sports. So thought we'll throw together a bit of a potty. So anyway, we'll rip straight into Origin 2 review. I'm going to head over to Coach. Throw over to Coach. Just moving a touch there, sweetheart. What do you got for us in Origin 2?
I'm going to touch on what I touched on in Origin 1. Liam Martin doesn't belong. Doesn't offer enough for me to warrant that selection. Also, the penalties that Queensland let off in the first half, second half, to start, kind of dumb, letting them out of their own end, Queensland. The 14th minute in particular.
New South Wales letting Queensland out.
No, yeah, New South Wales letting Queensland out. Off the
Yeah.
41st minute as well, when Matt Byrne put up that skyrocket kick, and then they just gave a penalty straight away. Nanai, not Origin level yet for Queensland. He doesn't do enough. He was gassed as soon as he came on the field. Luai scored right out on him. Papali's done, in my opinion.
That's the end of his representative football career, is it?
For Queensland, definitely. I think he'll still get chosen for the next couple of years probably, but he's done in my eyes.
Wow,
Queensland, outmuscled. I think, in my opinion, they got off the jump wrong. Their prep was wrong. Both times they've played in Perth, they haven't gone down till later in the week. It's been played on Sunday. I've written here, same scenarios, same outcomes. So both times it's been a game 2.
It's a fact, but same scenarios. It's a saying. That's going to be on a t-shirt soon.
So they've both been a game 2. New South Wales been down 1-0 both times. They've made 8 changes both times. And Freddie's been criticised for it, even from us. And they've gone out and in the first half they've been a little bit clunky. Both times, and they've come out in the second half and put on an absolute clinic,
absolute display, and
run away with it. But yeah, I think they've got off to the wrong start with the prep. Yeah, that's what I've got. I don't think.
That was just well said. That was absolutely incredible. He's just ripped through all the points, and as well on the Freddie point. Look, I gave him the chance last week. If he didn't win, then he was going to get it, but. He's the man, greatest coach of all time. I'll throw it over to Skip over here, Origin 2. What are we thinking?
Oh, I don't think it has anything like you just said about the same scenario, same outcome. I think for me, having Jake Jaboyevich selected this week for the game 2 was a massive win for the Blues. No forward run for 100 metres for Queensland other than Pat Carrigan. He made 103.
Willie Mason, hurry up.
But yeah, like Jake Jaboyevich was just chopping blokes in half. Was so solid around the middle for the Blues and locked everything down. I don't think Appy Carsdale got enough credit for his opening 30 minutes. Like he was so solid in defence for the Blues and got them off to a good start, laid the platform. But as you said, Josh Papali'i, he's done.
It's wraps.
Get rid of him. Get rid of him, Billy. I don't know. Game 1 and 2, he's played a total of 22 minutes and 26 minutes.
Is that both games?
48 minutes total. He's run, in game 1 he ran 4 times for 35 metres.
Yeah.
Game 2 he ran 5 times for 37 metres. Like, he's too unfit.
Yeah.
He's too heavy. I don't know if he did pre-season or not, but that guy might be an NRL level prop, but he's...
Rep level just gets
out of his
pace.
He's gone.
He's out of his depth. He's not giving any impact. He's too fat, too slow.
That just begs the question, whose spot is that then?
I think you move Pat Carrigan into the starting side.
Yeah.
I think Jai Arrow keeps his spot. Obviously, we don't know if Ruben Cotter's going to be right for game 3. I don't think he is. But I think that he done his hamstring. So
they said roughly back for round 19.
In a warm-up last week for
yeah. And he got... walked off the field in the warm-up, yeah.
So I think Ruben Cotter stays at 13. Tino and Pat Carrigan start. Lindsay Collins comes off the bench. And like you said, Jeremiah Nanai
get
He's
out
not
as
on
well.
it.
Not yet.
Not yet.
But when you've got two back rows that play 80 minutes in Kafusi
You don't
and,
need
and
that
Cable,
guy.
you don't need another back row on the bench. For me, Origin, and it's always been won through the middle. Whoever wins the middle wins Origin games. And Queensland at the moment, game one, they were destructive through the middle and they really dominated. And again, New South Wales with Jake Trbojevic and Junior Polo run for well over 100 metres and was destructive. Their middle was so far on top it wasn't funny. I don't think it had anything to do with...
You don't? Because I've had a look back. Both times that they've played in... There's only been 2 games played in Perth. They've gone down late in the week. They weren't acclimatised to the time zone, the climate. I'm not saying that
It's
you're
not-
right,
it's not
but
really time zone, it's 2 hours.
It's 5 though.
It's 3.
2 hours difference.
3 hours. It's 3 hours, but you look at it. They look.
It's 2 hours.
New South Wales look New South Wales look sweet, and Queensland look gassed inside the first 15 minutes, and I think it might be due to that.
I don't
It's
think
gone because that's you look at. I look back. Kafusi celebrating his try. He looks tired. They all have their hands on their hips, and then you get them laying down the ruck. That's why they get the six agains, all that stuff. And then Kafusi gets sent off for it, and then on the top of that, that's where they get more gassed.
If you take 15 minutes, the first 15 minutes, right, you're saying they're gas after 15 minutes. They led the game late in that half.
Yeah.
They led the game. I don't think it had anything to do with being gassed because I think it was a tough game. I think a tough game. I don't think it had too much to do with them being gassed. They got gassed when they gave away penalty after penalty after penalty, then got a player sent to the sin bin. Then it turned to shit
Which
for them.
was a bit of a controversial topic on the social medias. I thought that was fair.
Yeah.
Was it fair or?
Oh, I don't know what the 6 to goes were for. Like, and that's probably the hardest thing at the moment is that there's 6 to goes being called and the spectators don't have a clue what's going on or what's actually what it's being called for. He did have a second effort. I don't know if it was 10 in the bin worthy, but that's the rest call. And that's not what lost Queensland the game. They looked. At that time, they looked like they were ready to go. And I don't think just happened that he got sin bin. If he'd have stayed on the field, I think it's still... New South Wales was so dominant through the middle and Queensland just couldn't wrestle that back. So it's... But like I said, properly... And I forgot. I forgot Dane Gagai.
I was waiting for it because I've never been a fan of him. So, and I was
this
waiting
guy
for it.
performs year after year after year for Queensland, and this year 17 missed tackles through 2 Origin games. Against Jack Whiten, who's not a centre, and against Matt Burton, who's a half. Who have both been selected at left centre, and both
out of position and just dominating.
Shreds.
Like it, Valentine Holmes and who was on that side with Tuolangi were okay. They weren't too bad, but Dane Gagai, he put so much pressure on Selwyn Cobbo.
And Cobbo cut the flack for it.
Yeah, that's probably why he's getting criticised so much as well. But I didn't even think of that.
But to me,
the
Dane
pressure
Gagai
also goes on to...
Billy Slater will probably pick and stick, and he probably will select Papali'i and Dane Gagai and Jeremiah Nanai again.
Yeah. What was that? That headline you sent to me?
It said Cam Smith. It said Billy, because they put them in that position to be in a decider already. They're probably going to pick the same.
Okay, yeah. So it was Cameron Smith who believes they'll pick the same squad,
which I don't agree with. I think you got to bring Tom Flegler under that side. Papali'i, yeah, like I said, he's too slow.
Anything's better if you pay more minutes.
I don't know who you pick at right centre.
I was going to say, does Gagai get the flick or?
You'd think so, but then
who do you pick though? That's the thing. Who have they got there that's available?
I think David Fafita comes back into that side somewhere.
I'd even put him in for Nanai.
There's talks that he will come in anyway for Kafusi.
Kafusi being in America.
That's right. Yes, out.
Don't know how long for, but probably it's not looking.
I wouldn't start. I wouldn't bring him off the bench. For me, I'd probably start like this guy hasn't been spoken about we haven't spoken about him, but Bo Fermor from the Titans. I'd start him in the back row. Solid defensively, makes his tackles. He's fit, can play centre if needed.
He's been in that extended squad, hasn't he?
He was in the Game 2 squad, yeah. So he's had that
taste of the environment as well.
Yeah, that weaker preparation, but I think there's got to be some changes from Queensland. I don't think there's going to be any. I don't think going to Suncorp with the same squad just because you're going to Suncorp's enough. But I guess we'll see what side is named next week.
Yeah, Suncorp. they're going to the game, by the way, so the 3-Cap boys will be there live.
Live.
And we will give our reaction in the following episode. So exciting stuff. Stay tuned for that. It's probably going to be episode 4. But any I'm gonna have a lazy touch on Origin 2. Nathan Cleary is going to be the greatest NRL player to ever play the game. He's going to hold every major record. I swear to God, I love this guy. Burton, the man. Oh my God, those kicks. Get him a max contract in the NFL. It's ridiculous. He's the GOAT. I wanted to ask you as well, because last week you've had a bit of a dig at Jerome Law. So I just wanted to circle back. Are we going to stand on our words here?
Yeah, don't get me wrong, he played well, and like I said last week, I don't think he belongs here, and I still don't think he belongs here. He's played a number of games now, and he's had one good performance.
Which was when?
The one just gone.
That was class.
That was his one good. We'll see. If he plays like that again, then good on him. But for me, I still don't think he offers enough.
You need a genuine half.
Like he scored a try, but other than him scoring a try, what did he do?
Exactly. That's what I was asking. Is that the good performance? Because that's pretty much all he did, and it was off the back of some very lackluster defense.
Yeah.
Kalen Ponga, what are you up to?
He did defend well.
It was through Nano.
Yeah.
He got scored on twice.
So
he let them through.
Yeah.
But I did say I don't think he belongs there, and I still don't think he belongs there. And the other one I said was I don't think Matt Burton should be there, and both of them played really well. So
hot takes from Skip.
I think Matt Burton keeps his spot. He done a really good job.
Yeah.
I think Jack White probably just goes to the bench, if anything. But
For Talakai.
Talakai don't offer
Get out.
So. Which
he was I looked through a few player ratings. He was the lowest rated player, but he didn't get many minutes, did he? Did he come on?
He got 15 or 20.
50,
yeah, he got 15 or 20. He didn't do much in the 15 or 20, and that's what I said. I don't think he belongs at Origin level, but
it's like
good on him for getting his debut.
You don't speak about these guys. So Nanai in the first game, you wouldn't speak about him because he's in a winning squad. Now he's in a losing squad. He looks terrible.
Yeah. Just like Liam Martin.
No,
I know you're on him, but that game one.
He's good defensively. I'll give him that. He doesn't really make much mistakes on defense, but he doesn't offer enough for me on attack. That's just me.
That's coach's take. He's not too happy with Liam Martin. He needs to pick it up. Any last words on Origin 2? Done. We're going to touch on Origin 3 next week when it's a few days out there. So we'll leave the Origin there for now. We're going to thrust straight into Chiefs feel good moment of the week. We're feeling good this week.
We are. We're feeling very good. I'm going to touch on some sports that we haven't talked about yet. So the MLB. So the Astros, the Houston Astros, coaches Skip's future team.
The Cheats.
They threw a no-hitter. So if you don't know what a no-hitter is, it's retiring every single person and getting no one on base. So Yankees got no one on base while they were pitching.
What's the likelihood of a no-hitter?
Very rare.
I'm going to look that up.
It's a combined no-hitter. So all the pitchers combined didn't let anyone
No one got hit.
No one got hit.
9 innings.
So 27 people didn't get on base.
List of no-hitters, here we go. We'll get this up just to see how often. Just because a non-baseball fan like myself is really. Where are we? Oh, don't worry, they've gone through and listed
every single person.
Yeah, every single team. Maybe that's it. We'll come back. We'll come back.
But they did it at Yankee Stadium too. So
oh my god!
Away from home.
That's incredible.
They've done it away from home.
Yankees fans are irate.
NHL, the Avalanche. They broke their 21-year Stanley Cup drought against the reigning champions.
And they've won it.
They won it. So
4-1.
I think so. 4-1. Tampa Bay Lightning won 2 years in a row, and they've come back to the finals, but Avalanche have beaten them.
Colorado. Shout out to Colorado for winning that.
Avalanche. Also, something you may not have heard about. You might have. There's going to be a BBL draft next year. Have you heard about that?
I have heard about
that.
In the BBL for the season coming, so at the end of the year, I have heard that.
Oh my god, I've not heard.
They've got news.
3 or 4 players at that.
I think it's three players, but you submit your draft picks, and say you had who did the Heat have last year? That was an international player. Yeah. Majid. So say you want Majid back, Brisbane Heat. Someone else submits their pick, but you can put in a retention pick. So they switch him. So he automatically goes to the Heat if you want him.
So the player pool is international players. Yeah. Not like a younger players like the AFL and the...
So it's all international.
Like I did see that, and the reason I did see it is because I seen Faf du Plessis was coming to play.
Yeah.
And there was a post that said about I'm going to the BBL, and AB de Villiers said Brisbane's a good place. They need someone like Faf.
Come on.
So you get one retention pick. So to pick, you got to choose it wisely. Who you definitely want back in your squad from who you had last year.
It's only someone you can have back. You obviously can't.
Yeah, you can't have a retention pick.
You can't stop somebody else from picking someone that you want.
Nah.
Yeah, cool.
So everyone gets
big news on the BBL.
Yeah, that's breaking news from Coach. That is interesting because I'm trying to figure out the format. So, and is there no because I'm obviously so stuck in the NBA, NFL format with the first pick, second pick. Is that how it's going to go? Does a certain team like a lottery?
I'd assume so. There's not much news on it yet. I've had a look. That's all I could see.
Next week, look it up.
We'll do some research on that.
Come back with what's happening.
There's a bit of a format, but that's very interesting. And I'd also like to see the player pool. I don't know if it's hard because players sign the contract and then they know they're going to the BBL. So now do they sign to the league itself and then get distributed?
No. So what I've seen is say the Stars select someone as like a platinum tier type player. If you want that person back in your team for the retention pick, you've got to actually keep them on platinum. You can't go down to another tier like gold or something. You got to keep them on their price range. So I think what they're going to do is like select them in a certain... They're going to have certain price range categories.
Tiers.
Like tiers. And then select them like that.
Be interesting. Bit of an interesting...
That is a... I wonder if it'll... Because they do the auction. It's called the auction in the IPL.
The IPL, yeah.
And they bid on the players. But what if...
How do you bid?
Exactly. And if you're going off prices and drafting, it's just going to be a weird...
who gets first pick,
Yeah.
And the team that came last year, or
and who sets that price for the
you'd have to think it's a pre-signed agreement with the BBL or something that they make it.
Maybe the teams are on board. Look at. Yeah, maybe you get one platinum pick or something like that. Is that
maybe?
Something like that. I've never even heard of that. So, Coach with the breaking news out of the Three Cap podcast. So is that wrapping up?
That's my top three
segment.
3 newses of the week.
All right, now we're gonna smack straight into the All Blacks game last night. Hang on, let me just get the All Blacks thing up. But did you want to just touch on that first? Got any notes on the All Blacks game at all? Or?
Yeah, I didn't have too much. Obviously, was out last night, but did catch majority of the game. A little bit nervous there when Ireland scored first. I thought they were in. I think I spoke to you two earlier in the week, and you said. Ireland have been really good against the Kiwis. And out of the last 5 games, those two have played. Ireland have won 3, and I had them at 13 plus. So just up here, skip nose it all.
Yeah.
Eden Park.
It's a different. It just does something. It's
a different playing field. Obviously, for teams that go to Eden Park, it's a fortress for the All Blacks. And they were clinical again. One guy I wanted to touch on, and we spoke about it just before, Artie Sevilla. That guy is a weapon.
It's not even just he scored 2 tries. I forgot that he actually scored 2 tries because I was so focused on he was absolutely everywhere, every breakdown. And if you watch the highlights, Aaron Smith little chip and chase try, when you see him take the ball. And he chips and chase, and the only person sprinting his heart out to just be there and be involved was Artie Sevilla. He's everywhere. I'm going to make my way through a few notes now about the game. So Artie Sevilla, as I've just said, freak. And then the second try, ridiculous. Was it like 40 metres out? Just took it
show and go.
Bump one off, dummy, step on the inside, just freak. Like once he gets the legs pumping... One of the hardest men to stop. It's unbelievable. And his post-contact meters are unreal. The All Blacks did start off slow defensively. I think Ireland really stuck to their game plan very well in the first 15 minutes. And put a lot of pressure on the All Blacks just because there was a few sloppy handling errors that I think the All Blacks, it was 20 minutes before they got any attacking at all, and when they did, it was 50 metres out. So Ireland put the pressure on early with the try, but once All Blacks got into the groove of things, they just started to turn it on. It was an absolute clinic. Aaron Smith, fast ruck speed, unreal. A few pickups there where, like, you're picking up with one hand and then just the next second a crisp pass, putting the forwards in the holes. I thought the short balls off the ruck and then the inside balls as well did a lot of damage. Whereas Beauden Barrett as well, he was a bit quiet, like in every aspect except for he was making the right passes and he just read the defensive line so well, the Irish defensive line. Finlay Christie, my guy, like Aaron Smith come off after dominating, and then Finlay Christie, it's a different style. He's got more of a running style.
Yeah.
There's a few times there where Aaron Smith would have done a classic box kick, but Finlay Christie's just taken it, run 30 metres up the field. So I love him. He was Blues' best player in the final.
Do you think, and it was something that I was speaking about with a couple of the boys from work, TJ Perenara's hard done by missing out on a selection, even to be in the squad. Not necessarily playing, because I do think Aaron Smith is our best 9.
Yeah.
And I think Finlay Christie was the best scrum half throughout the year for the Blues.
Yeah.
He was probably the best scrum half throughout the year in the Super Rugby, but I do think Aaron Smith's got to start for the All Blacks.
Aaron Smith's the greatest number 9 in All Blacks history.
He's clinical. Like you said, his passing was...
It's ridiculous. Like, so if you actually stop and look at it, every single pass
every time
is there, and like at the chest, it's
on
like
the advantage line. They're always rolling, and that's why I think it's so hard to beat the All Blacks if you don't and this is probably, if you don't play down their end, you are gonna lose. If you give them even ball, even a little bit less, they are so clinical when they have the ball. Like, how many tries did they end up scoring?
I can't remember. The final score was 42-19.
So they scored 6 tries.
Yeah.
6 tries, 7 by 6. Yeah, 7 by 7,
Something
49. 6 tries, and they didn't really, like you said, they didn't touch the ball to the 20th minute.
Yeah, exactly. And Ireland went on a bit of a run at the end there too.
Yeah.
Defensively as well, like that goal line defense was just ridiculous. Rieko Ioane stopping 2 tries. And the debutant, Leicester,
Whanganoko.
he didn't get much. He didn't get much ball. Like, he didn't get much opportunity to show his full talent. But the touches that he did have, it showed he was ridiculously skillful and powerful. And defensively, he was just on, which is what you need.
What about the other winger, Sevu Reece? What were your thoughts on that?
He's a bit quiet. The thing is, he plays the same every game. Like, he's got like a very
you know what you're gonna get.
Like a free what is it? Like a very running style, like a very Fijian style of footy. And sometimes it works. Like, he did make a few little breaks up the middle there, but I think he was just pretty quiet. Not much to say on him. I can't really, just other than the few little breaks he made up the midfield.
Yeah.
I think Will Jordan takes that jersey anyway. That if it wasn't for COVID.
The winning jersey or the fullback jersey?
14. Oh, no, I think Geordie Barrett stays 15.
What happens? Like, obviously they play next Saturday, I believe.
Yeah, I think so.
Do you make any changes to that squad, and if so, who?
It depends on, because they've had COVID, right? I know COVID can affect you for longer than 2 weeks. Oh, longer than a week, sorry, but they are elite athletes. Maybe they bounce back. If they bounce back, I'll probably chuck Will Jordan in the 14 jersey.
Is he still in the side?
Will
Is he
Jordan
still in the squad?
Yeah, he's in the squad.
So who did Mark Talea come in for?
There was a few.
There was a few out. I think
David Havili and Jack.
Havili, Goodhue,
Yeah,
Jordan.
Was out. Jordan was out.
That's all I
see.
see.
Mark Talea came in for someone, but I'm not 100%. I'm pretty sure it was Will Jordan.
Yeah, I think Will Jordan was in that initial.
But I think they've replaced him now.
They actually took him out.
I think they've
completely.
replaced him out of the squad.
Will Jordan, he's out.
I think so.
For Mark Talia.
Yeah.
I didn't even know that.
But is Caleb Clark right? He's surely.
I think maybe he was the one. Is he still in the squad?
He's still in the squad. He's got to be. If he's fit, he's got to be.
Surely.
Yeah, true. He's got that 11 jersey, but I think he's got a hamstring issue.
Okay.
So I think that's why he was out. I don't know whether that'll come right, but Leicester played so well. I don't know if you'd give him another run.
Maybe Caleb Clark's on the bench.
Maybe, but
Because who they have that Braden?
Braden Enna, he's played a couple tests for the All Blacks. I've never seen him before.
I've never even heard of him.
I didn't know who he was.
I've got here Braden Enna, any good question mark, because I don't know who he is.
well, when he come on, the first thing I seen him, he got run over by the Irish centre straight away. So I don't think he's in an All Black jersey next week. But he has played a few tests. He played in. I had to look it up. He played in USA last year and Australia.
Those ones where they absolutely killed USA.
Yeah, but he did play against Australia once as well. So.
Well, that's not the same. It's the same as USA.
Yeah. What else have we got here? I think that's it for now on the All Blacks game.
I didn't actually get an answer on the TJ Perenara thing.
Oh yeah, we just went on a tangent. Who's the
other one? Fakatava? Is it Fakatava?
Fakatava's the one in the squad to taking that spot, but then.
Do we think he?
But Brad Weber, right? So TJ made the Māori All Blacks. He didn't even make the starting lineup for the Māori All Blacks.
I think
so. You're telling me he's the 5th best in the country?
But no, he's not. He's definitely not. But for the Hurricanes, he starts at 9. But for the All Blacks, whenever he's in that side, off the bench,
yeah,
he closed out the game so well for the All Blacks, and that's what I mean. Like he's
a closer.
He's got to be in that squad somewhere. Like
I don't know seen enough of Fakatava to.
But I don't. Where does he get a game? Where does he get a game? When is he going to play?
He's got to hope for Aaron Smith's scoring to play up again, I guess.
For me, Aaron Smith's got to start, and Finlay Christie was the best.
Yeah, I love Finlay Christie so much.
You said too, didn't you say Fakatava was behind Brad Weber?
He's behind Brad Weber for the Highlanders.
He's a bench player in Super Rugby behind Brad Weber, who's in the Māori squad. Oh my god, yeah. So how's he in the All Blacks and Brad Weber's in the Māori All Blacks as well?
Yeah, but that's what I mean. I think like some people. Because, and this is the same in rugby league, right? They're so good. Some people are so good off the bench that they automatically get selected on the bench over a starter because they're so used to that role, and that's maybe why he's picked in the side.
But I've just realised what it is. You got to think about what the next 18 months looks like in the world of rugby. You've got the World Cup coming up. I think they're really just trying to give everyone a run to try to prove themselves for the World Cup. I think we'll probably see TJ in the squad for the World Cup. And I think they've probably told him that too because he just re-signed with New Zealand Rugby, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
So I think they're really trying to give
as many people around.
Yeah, because they know what they can get from Brad Weber and TJ. And they've got Finlay Christie and Fakatava in there.
Yeah.
Fakatava...
Crusaders 9.
Who's that?
Is his name Bryn Hall?
No, he's...
he played mean in the final.
He's off to overseas.
Okay.
Yeah, that'll be why he's not in there.
Because I was going to say, like...
Yeah, I wonder why he's not.
I wonder why he wouldn't be.
What's it?
Yeah, no, he's played his last game for the Crusaders in the final. So yeah, he's off to overseas now.
Because in that final...
Yeah,
he was near the best.
He's off to get his money. But yeah, it's... That's why I think RTS got a run in the squad. They're just trying to...
build their
as much experience in the camp. But I thought he was going to get a run on the field with all the midfielders out. But
next game, there's 3 games.
Yeah, I reckon they give him a run on the 3rd. What, they got to win the series first?
Yeah, win the series and get Fakatava and those sort of guys in there.
And Ricky Ioane and Quincy Pai were unreal.
But you got to think when we just talk about the World Cup coming up. Quincy Pai has obviously played an awesome game last night.
Yeah.
Played really well. Rico Ioane is unreal at 30.
Unbelievable.
But they've still got, like we said, Havili and Goodhue to come back in.
David Havili. That's his number 12 jersey.
Yeah.
It's Havili and Ioane without a doubt. They're fighting for who's coming off the bench at the moment.
And who would you go with? Like, this is
What, on
awesome.
the bench?
Oh my god.
For the World
Not
Cup,
Braden
that's-
Nana, that's for sure.
No.
You gotta look at it though. You gotta see. Who
I'd
gets
love to
better.
see how RTS plays in All Black jersey. He will get a run for sure in this series, I reckon. I'm not sure if this squad is the same squad that they're going to take to South Africa. I'm pretty sure it would be. Maybe he'll get a run in those games, but playing in South Africa at altitude would be a pretty rough debut.
Yeah.
Against South Africa because they're unreal at home. So I think he gets a run in the third test. Maybe they'll try.
If they've won it already, then just chuck in all the players to chuck.
Yeah, maybe Fakatava will get a run as well. We'll see.
Interesting.
But I still think they want to win them all.
Yeah, definitely.
But yeah, it's hard, man. Like I really want RTS to get a run, but it's ridiculous. The backline defensively as well was unbelievable, except for Braden Nana again. Richie Mwanga was actually pretty quiet. I can't remember when he come on.
60th minute.
60th, so he still had 20 minutes. He didn't really do much.
But he didn't need to.
The game was over. Yeah.
Just look after the clock.
Yeah. Who else? Any other notes on the All Blacks game? I just make my way through here.
I didn't have anything. I think, like I said, they were so clinical after that 20th minute.
Yeah, and Peter Gus, my guy, on debut, the try. Hakeem Elijah on. But did you see his first touch?
No, I didn't.
Dropped the ball.
But like you look at that and you got Artie Savan and you got Peter coming off the bench at number 8. You've still got guys like
Hoskins
Tutu coming, who's not in that side.
God.
Like they are going to be so strong at the World Cup, and there's.
Oh my god! And I forget the injury list as well.
Is Blackadder injured?
He's injured. He's a freak. Like again,
So I was wondering why he wasn't in there, but obviously injuries and stuff.
Yeah.
He is an absolute freak. Old Blackadder. There's a few more.
Is Grace injured? Would he be in there or no?
No, Cullen Grace plays for
the Māori All Blacks.
Māori All Blacks. I don't think he's.
You don't think
I don't
so?
think he's at that level. He's not in the same.
No, he's not good enough.
Do you reckon he'll ever be at that level?
I think he can get there, but at the moment, like Artie Savan, Peter,
Too
Peter Gus,
many, way more
yeah,
experienced
And Dalton Papali'i as well.
you got that guy sitting on the bench.
And like he's, it was appendicitis he had. That's why he was in question for the Super Rugby final and
For the All Blacks.
for the All Blacks. But Akira Ioane, again another one.
Play.
Come on, it's,
Caleb, like I said, Caleb Clark, RTS. Like there's another.
there's another
You can make another All Blacks squad and go to the World Cup and it'd be All
And
Blacks,
take
the
two
All
of them.
Blacks in the final.
Yeah.
Like we're talking about Havili, who's a starting 12. Will Jordan's probably got that 15 jersey locked up.
It's hard though because then look, Damien McKenzie. It's
That's what I
ridiculous
mean. Like,
the
there's
amount.
that many players. There's so much
players.
depth in the squad.
Yeah, I can't find the
New
injured
Zealand-
list, but
Yeah, there's a few. Like we obviously just touched on the whole lot, but
yeah, it's ridiculous the amount of
crazy.
talent. But yeah, oh my god, the All Blacks, they were just on. It was ridiculous. All of them, every single one. Like I couldn't write enough good things about that team. I like to have a bit of a rant, but I could Braden Nana, that's about it. So now we'll scrimp 3-cap multi.
Can we please just touch on these guys right here?
Go.
Guys, they return home today,
In
and
about-
I've worn this shirt, and they've got one last chance.
One last shot. What about yourself? Because I know you're
They've got one
bit
chance.
of a Warriors /
They'll always have a
Panthers
spot in my heart.
fan.
I'm not a Panthers fan.
He loves that.
I'm a Dolphins
They've
fan,
got-
but
Like we've spoken about, Dolphins will be my team next year,
The
but
team
these
of
guys
three
have
Till I
one.
die.
the team of 3
Fins up.
The
These guys
Dolphins.
have got one last chance.
Yeah. Otherwise, we're going to
Otherwise,
skip
I'm
over here testing free agency for the remainder of the NRL season.
Otherwise, I'm out. Supported them since I was born. 95. They came into the competition when I was born, and
Yeah.
I've gone through everything.
And it's literally one last chance because,
The ups and the downs, and the ups have been 2 years.
and you got to look at the context of it. It's the Tigers. Come on. And if you
Tigers
can't
at
pull
home.
through and beat the Tigers at home,
At home.
pathetic.
After
I
being
said
away.
they shouldn't be in the NRL, but the only reason I reckon they should like stay a team is because the amount they do for the development in like the junior levels in Auckland,
For
like,
the other 15 clubs in Australia that they give all their good
and
players
all
to.
this, and the whole Super League.
Yeah.
Like, it's ridiculous. the amount they do, but they,
So come on, Warriors. You've got one last chance.
come on,
Beat them.
all right.
I've seen Instagram during the week that the homecoming that they had, all the huckers all the Māori people.
They're hyping it up.
At Mount Smart Stadium. The boys trained in the stadium for the first time. It was giving me goosebumps, and that's why I've worn this day, because I thought, you've got one last chance.
And
one last chance.
Jazz Tavanga.
Sean Johnson, for me, he was on his way out. Come on, do something today. I don't know what's going to happen. Dave Dobbin playing before the game. Surely he's singing Welcome Home.
Yeah.
He's got to be singing Welcome Home. I'm that keen for them to get home. I hope they play well. They've lost 7 of their last 8 at Mount Smart Stadium. It's not looking good.
It's the Tigers. It is the Tigers.
They haven't been home for 3 years. A sold out Mount Smart Stadium. It's going to be.
It's going to be electric.
It's going to be electric. We've been to Mount Smart Stadium. I don't know. Have you been to Mount Smart Stadium before? We've been to Mount Smart Stadium when it's not been full, and it's been. There's been a few people.
Like when you were there,
a few thousand people, yeah. But I've never been to a packed out Mount Smart Stadium, and I'd love to be there today. But
yeah, they need to pull through, especially when you've got players. They're sitting at 15th on the ladder, and you've got Jazz Tavanga coming out and saying we're going to thump them. I think when you're 15th on the ladder, you don't really
you don't have that out there.
You don't really have the right to be talking.
But he's a passionate dude, and he wears his heart on his sleeve. There's some guys in that team that just got to turn up today.
What is it? This could be a whole nother can of worms we could open up here. But quickly, what is it about the Warriors that is it because they're not home, they're depressed? What is it?
You look at Melbourne. Melbourne went away from home. Like, they didn't do it for 3 years, but they went away from home for a majority of the season. When same as the Warriors.
That was when they won the comp.
Oh my god!
Like it's for me, it's not about. I don't know what goes on through the board and the coaching staff, but Ivan Cleary and Daniel Anderson, for me, have been the 2 coaches that have ever done anything with the Warriors.
Daniel Anderson, that's going back.
That's a long time. That's what I mean. Like,
what's that?
Every single coach. I don't know whether it's they just go soft on the players that are at the Warriors at the time.
Mm.
They say this is like, for me, they should be fit as anything. They trained in Australia for this preseason.
Yeah,
they should be fit. They trained in this weather. It's like they get out. I don't know what they do during the week at training. It's obviously not video work.
Yeah,
they don't look at the other team because. Have you ever looked at a Warriors game and thought, I know what their game plan is. I know who they're targeting. I know what they're trying to do.
No, it's just
run the ball. Yeah,
they take settlers and then
bomb it.
It's reminiscent of a Bryby Island under 15 Warriors game plan. 5 hit ups and a kick.
As coach led it, he led that.
Yeah. Which was to the grand final. We won't touch on it. That's another whole. But we've had coach lead us to the grand final with a try save tackle.
In the round robin tournament.
Yeah.
So I going back to obviously the 3-cap multi. Bit of a.
Are you about to give us your?
I'm about to give you my.
Hang on. Well, first, I have to touch on last week, right?
Yeah.
As you can read here, I've got to give coaches flowers. He was on not just with the 3-cap multi, but he was on with the predictions for Origin. So we'll have a look here. Okay, we'll have a look at your one first because it's at the top. First half points under 18.5. That's a miss. That's Skip's first miss.
They scored 26 points. Like I said, I thought it was going to be a tight contest and it just wasn't.
And I can't really talk. I've had Cobbo. He's nearly got my leg there, but he didn't. So that's 2 misses. But coach
pulled through.
He hasn't missed, so he's got Burton any time. What was the other prediction?
So he had New South Wales 24-16 to win.
Obviously that missed.
But
I got New South Wales to win.
Matt Burton any time, and he also had Nathan Cleary man of the match, which happened.
And Matt Burton any time, Cleary man of the match. He was just on. He can just read it. He read it like a book. Absolutely.
Read it like a game.
Yeah. So now, I just had to give him his respect really quickly. We'll go through our legs. We'll go with
Leave me for last.
Yeah, we'll go with coach first because you were first last week, so
we'll split. So I've gone with a bit of a questionable one, but it's the homecoming. The hometown heroes coming back. Sean Johnson anytime.
Wowee, what a hot take there.
That's very hot. And
SJ
anytime. He got to get over. He's got to do it.
Alright, we'll go with yours. Because I think, just go with yours because I think my leg is going to be a bit contradictory. I haven't written it down, but...
So my leg, obviously, I want them to win. I want them to have a good game. So I'm backing the Warriors 13+.
Okay, that 13 plus Warriors, wow. That is really contradictory. You know why? Because I had Tigers winning it by 13 plus.
So obviously that can't go into them.
So
That can't go in.
but I'm gonna fall back on the old faithful.
Jazz Tavanga.
Jazz.
Anytime.
Tavanga anytime. You had
Let's
it
go.
first. Jazz. Well, we Jazz Tavanga anytime. That's my guy right there. So the 3-cap multi for this week is Sean Johnson anytime, Warriors by a whopping 13 plus, and Jazz.
And you've got to think if those two score.
Surely
They
13
win
plus.
by 13 plus.
Surely if you slam over 2 tries from the 2 greatest Warriors to ever play, it's just...
It's done.
And if they lose, everyone get out. Stacey, get on. Hurry up. Stacey, get on. Anywho,
No,
I think we've wrapped it up. Is that a wrap up?
I think
That
so.
is a wrap up.
Yeah, it's done.
Yeah, that's really come out of nowhere because I had to shuffle that around. I thought that we had one more, but yeah.
We're done.
That's actually done.
Yeah, so that's the 3-cap multi, and that is also the episode for this week. Again, thank you for the support on last week's episode. Actual real one sharing it. Smack the subscribe button because we got 20 subs last week, so let's see if we can get that up. But yeah, thanks for watching. We'll be back next week to talk about Origin and probably the All Blacks again. And yeah, see you later. What an absolute ripper episode.